So, first type of abuse, and also how I came to recognize it. Um, Early on, after I'd been discarded, I went to see a solicitor about doing the what's it called? Fuck. Um, you know, separating the assets. Documenting. Who gets what, that sort of thing. And the solicitor asked me for something that she asked me, and she never used it. She asked me to do this. I think she was actually asking me to do this for me. She asked me to write down and document like a history of the relationship, and going back through and just being as analytical as I could and just documenting the facts. It was heart wrenching because I had started to see that there were elements of abuse really early on in their relationship that I did not see. I mean, most of the abuse when it got really bad was towards the end, um, but it was still covert. But financial abuse, the first one. So early on in the relationship, she took control of, took over the finances, and that's pretty common. That one partner or the other will take over the finances. Now, at the time, the reason for that, I was working two jobs and sleeping about 3 or 4 hours a night because of the amount of work that I was doing. I was getting very stressed. And so doing the bills and so on was sort of pushing me over the edge. And so she said, "Oh, look, can I help?" And it sounds, reasonable. Um, when did I recognize that it was actually a form of control and abuse? Really, that was fast forward 9 years into the relationship when, if I even asked to see how things were going with the house repayments, I'd get these emotionally charged comments of, "Don't you think I'm doing a good enough job?" Eye rolls, sighs, and I'll do a full video on those. But so I was made to feel bad that I just wanted to ask the question of how are we tracking financially. Um, I just wanted feedback to know, yeah, things are on track or they're not. And this control and making me feel bad that I'm not allowed to ask those sorts of questions. It extended further than that, though. I am not an accountant. I'm bloody good with Excel, though. And I had supported her in building a business, and uh, once a month would go through and help her with the accounts. Now, the business had grown to a point where I no longer felt safe and comfortable with my knowledge of tax and so on. So I said, "Look, you really need to get a bookkeeper." "Oh, we can't afford it." And so then this monthly activity started to get really emotionally charged because I was uncertain. I didn't have the skill set to do what I was supposed to do, but I wasn't allowed to say I couldn't do it. And she just forced me. And if I didn't do it, I'd be punished, and then punished in a bunch of different ways. But yeah, that has set me up with a lot of issues financially in my head, that is. And but again, this too shall pass. I'm back on track. I'm getting better. And the hysterical thing is, it's not that I'm no good with managing finances budgets, because in my working career, I was managing budgets of 45, $50 million. But I'm not allowed to manage, in my head, I'm not allowed to manage a home budget. So, peace, and always remember, wherever you are, this too shall pass. This too shall pass.